in John Beeson's book again, 12 Rules for Life, he talks about the dominance hierarchy and how he gave the example of lobsters and how they compete for space and they compete for mates, and how say like I'm a lobster and there's some other lobster over there and I want to go where he is. We'll compete. We'll like release hormones and want to like test. Then you test each other out to see if like one of us is going to back off or not. And eventually, if none of that comes to a conclusion, we will have a scrap. And lobsters have a straightener.
Nice. A straightener is always the number one option. Start that first and then talk. That's my philosophy.
Yeah. There's a business quote, and it's act now and apologize later.
Yeah, it's better to ask for forgiveness or something than
more than permission.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, lots will compete and whatnot, and say like I'll obviously win this fight against this other lobster because I am
the bitch boy lobster.
I am higher up in the dominance hierarchy, and how that will affect your self-image, and that directly correlates to how you feel.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So if I've just beaten this lobster and I've got this land, I'm feeling like the king. Like my body's gonna release all the good hormones and make me feel like a king because I perceive myself to be a king. That's my self-image. Mm-hmm. But then if the lobster who I've beat the shit out of, he's gonna feel like he's gonna feel like
he's
shit.
Got no lobster bitches. Like
so his self-image is gonna go down, and the hormones his body is gonna release is reflective of his self-image. So he's gonna release the more depressive hormones.
Yeah.
If you keep in that if you kept losing, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And if I conquer the lobster kingdom, my hormones are going to be through the roof. And so how you perceive yourself in this dominance hierarchy and how you perceive yourself as a person will directly determine your mental health. That's why self-worth and image is the key foundation, building block of your mental health. That is you want to solve your mental health. That's what you need to work on, how you perceive yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's what the things we talked about before, the meditation, gratitude, exercise, your friendship group, gratitude, outside your comfort zone. That's what's going to boost your mental image. And you need that that purpose and to feel important. And say your social group, if you feel like an outcast or whatever, you're going to feel down and whatnot because you're not going to feel wanted in that friendship group. But when you're in the friendship group and maybe you made everyone laugh that day, you're going to come home and you're going to be woo, I feel good. That's why having a purpose as well that's going to add to your self-image. Self-image is the number one thing you've got to work on if you want good mental health.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was in my room one day, when you have random moments of inspiration. It's definitely already been said before, but I came up with a quote. And it was, never let your worth be defined by someone else's opinion, which I thought was very poetic. Mm-hmm. And then, so I wrote on my whiteboard, thought, daily reminder. So, yeah, self-image is fucking hell, it's snowing again. Oh my God. It's I had that with Reese after the fight with Reese, because I was nervous going into the fight. I was I wasn't scared. This is the thing. There's a big difference in nervous and scared I've learned. Mm-hmm. I was nervous because I thought if I lose, then it's fuck.
What's everyone gonna think?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't care that it's not. I'm not angry at Reese. Reese beat me. It was a fight. That was the thing. Obviously, it didn't happen. But, I was scared of oh man, what the fuck? Oh shit. Yeah, no worries. Do you want to bring the thing down?
No, it's just getting dark, so I'm gonna increase the exposure. So just keep
okay. I had that fear. And then after I won, it was I was walking on sunshine, bro. Feeling like $1 million. It was wow, and it was for a month a good solid confidence boost. Cause it was okay, all these doubts that I've had for these months coming up. It's I've just proved them all wrong. And also all the fucking haters Oscar messaging me saying that I was gonna lose and shit. Fucking.
I was the only person.
It was you and
Will.
AG. No, I had to speak to Will about it. Yeah, I had to speak to Will because Will was I think he had good intentions, but he was saying in the comments yeah, but I think Reese is a better fighter, so you need to be careful. And the way he worded it was really damn, this is mean. But he came around, and then
me and AG were your only supporters,
and Georgia obviously, but Like you were the ones who fully believed in me, I think. And like fucking yeah, like Finn thought he was gonna win, Yemi thought he was gonna win, like all that shit. You know, Yemi didn't believe that he'd won at first. Cause yeah.
You don't see his face.
Oh yeah, bro, fucking. You know, Leon said that it was a draw. You know.
Yeah, I remember you saying it like.
No, that was not a draw. Because it was 3 rounds, obviously, and I said that it had been called in 3 rounds because I was like, Reese, I can't do this to you anymore. Then Yen was like, no, they haven't. They've only done 3 rounds. Blah 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 blah. I think he just wanted me to lose. You know what I mean? But you know, proved them all wrong. Wanna know, baby?
That's when you don't count our sparring sessions.
Of course not. I'll never count my sparring session. Do you reckon there'll ever be a time where we fight? I don't think there would.
No. Because if we had any like disagreements or we were pissed off at each other, I think we have enough emotional intelligence to be able to sit down or to be able to spar.
Yeah, we literally could just have like a sparring session. See, we spar quite hard. I found.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. Louis, every sparring session we have, I leave with a bloody nose, and I'm blowing blood out my nose like theories. Oh, don't get hit. But it's like compared to sparring in like actual training, it's like wow, these guys go way lighter than I was expecting.
Really?
Yeah, we spar quite hard. If you look at the footage, when you hit me, my head goes here. At that point, it's like maybe that's why I was talking about head guards because like
I've never thought I was going too hard because I'm used to sparring when I've been sparring in Buckley.
Yeah.
It's just like
you spar with Louise and shit. And
it's just like
they're all powerhouses, so even their light is hard.
I'm like,
yeah, fight to survive.
When I'm sparring with you, I'm like chill out. I'm like I feel like I'm like learning a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely like I always feel like I'm learning, but it definitely when you hit me it hurts. That's why it's like okay, this is. Fuck off. This is like, I think the nose is always a good indicator of whether we're going too hard or not. But
it's just there for the taking. Just quick step in with the jab.
Yeah, my fat nose and a bad guard.
Yeah.
I always try and parry jabs and just like miss. Yeah, it's difficult.
Back to the racing, that's the dominance hierarchy again. Like, because you beat that lobster.
In the most primal way, you know what I mean?
That's like your self-perception. Nice one.
Thanks.
has gone up from that.
Yeah, fully. The self-worth is always a big one. I noticed that my confidence has been like pretty low recently, but I noticed that as my confidence goes lower, the self-deprecating jokes go higher. It's like inversely proportional, and it's like, am I doing this to myself to a point? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like self-deprecating jokes are some of the funniest.
Yeah, of
course. It's such an easy thing because it's like no one thinks you're a dickhead because you're not like but
you're insulting yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like big dick jokes make me cringe. If I hear someone make a joke about how they have a big dick, it's like like bro, you're so insecure. But what was the actual point of that? I cringed myself out and lost my train of thought.
How your self-perception's gone down recently.
Yeah. You fucking pussy. So yeah, I think.
Wait, you called me a pussy?
What?
You just called me a pussy?
No, I was. I'm wasted on you, Lou. The joke was that you were calling me a pussy. I
never called you a pussy.
Oh my god. So the joke was. Me, because you had just said what I was talking about,
right, okay. And
so I had said, yeah, you fucking pussy, as if you had just said that to me. I'm not saying you had said it to me.
Okay. Sorry, yeah. Carry on.
This podcast was a bad idea. Yeah, so don't make self-deprecating jokes too much. Big yourself up in some ways. Yeah. Like, I noticed that your mirror, do you still have the post-it notes where you're like, you're a fat bitch and you're too slow and whatever you have? Do you still have those?
I don't really use the mirror anymore. I usually just use prayer and I usually whenever a good thing is I found is whenever I get a bad thought, I'm not good at this. You just gotta counter with 3 good thoughts. Immediately no, I can do this and I can do that and I'm not shit. Just counter it immediately. Usually when you can get into a spiral when you start to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And you can kind of be you start to believe it, and then you self-prophesize that. It's like the 13-year-old girls who listen to Billie Eilish and I have depression.
Yeah.
And then they start to have
Self-diagnosed depression that develops into real depression because they've conditioned themselves into it.
They follow like the habits of a depressed girl, so they then become depressed.
Yeah.
So you should be careful of those thoughts in your head and be able to counter them, and you should know when they might come about, so you can be prepared to stop and be prepared to counter them and be ready.
I'm my own. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I finished there.
I'm my own worst enemy for that because I'll be like, oh, I'm pretty happy, and then in my head, it's not purposeful, but sometimes it feels purposeful.
Yeah.
I'll think of a thought, and I'm like, oh, why?
Yeah, you spoil it.
Like, what the hell, man? Spiraling is so scary when it happens because it's in like anything, because it's like, oh no, oh fuck. Oh, you know what I mean? It's just that like you feel like your fingers are slipping, and you're just like,
it's a constant like crawling battle of like you're going against the
tide.
current.
Yeah.
It is difficult. It's just like being present, because once you kind of like acknowledge that you're in the spiral, it's kind of like you can't. Sometimes it's like you just go into it.
Yeah, you have to be like, no, I'm not until it goes away.
But it's a battle.
It's a fucking fight.
Because it's literally like everyday fight.
Yeah, bro.
Palace where you it's literally like a battle of like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
And it's entirely you versus you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself?
And the thing with that is, I can only really say is like meditation, like positive, like self-image.
Yeah.
Because that's what sort of silences those thoughts. You don't really have them, but it takes a while to get to that place. Like especially the more trauma you've had, the much longer it takes to get to that like that peaceful place. But when you do get there, it's like
bliss. Yeah, feeling zen is one of the best feelings in the world. Like you're chilling in a bath or something, you get out and you're like, you feel weightless. It's nice. It's real fucking nice. And everything, you just think about things. Everything seems nice. You know what I mean? Every thought you have is like, the grass is green right here, right now. You know what I mean?
Presence, just being, just be, is like a big thing. Like if you can just be present in the moment, like you don't have those anxious thoughts because you're not thinking about them.
No, yeah. Like you can go. It's like with training, isn't it? You have a shit day, you'll be training for that hour because you're just like pushing yourself and doing this. You have no thought other than like, damn, I'm sore, or this is tiring.
It's a flow state,
yeah.
Isn't it? Like that's what meditation teaches. It's essentially teaching you to be in a flow state, and not everyone, especially if you don't even like. So we are definitely above average in terms of the exercise we do and like. People who make big jokes are insecure.
Yeah, I had to. Go on.
The average person is probably going to be a bit fat, overweight, like not have good habits, like not exercise, probably just sits and like binge watches TV and has a lot of bad habits. Fuck.
Why you think of that? I'd like to hope that I'm above average, but I definitely have bad habits.
Sorry, I've just lost my complete train of thought there.
You were probably just talking about how good I was and how much you like me and how you think that I'm the funny one. That's probably I assume that's what you were talking about.
What did they say just before that?
You're talking about habits and being present and being in the now.
Being in the now, in the presence. They don't practice a flow state. The more you practice a flow state, the easier it is for you to get into a flow state.
Yeah.
And when you're just having a shit day, your boss is shouting at you, you're stressed, and like you're just like mind-numbingly scrolling social media, watching TV, playing video games, you don't get into a flow state as much, and that's a lot of times we see a big decline in mental health.
Yeah, 100%. You've reminded me of something that I found out today. And I think about my boss being a arsehole, like just awful boss to me the past like week or so. Guess what happened today?
What?
His dog that he's had for like 15 plus years or something died. And it's like, yeah, that's so sad, but at the same time, don't be a dick. You know what I mean?
Karma, I guess.
Karma strikes. I thought
shit, you're playing like shit and your dog's gonna die.
Yeah, that's what you should take from the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Be nice or your pets will die. I fucking hope he doesn't watch this. He's like, oh, Yannick's in this. I like him, man. He's my favourite employee.
Fuck you, boss.
Yeah.
Yo, thanks for watching this this clip. If you liked watching this, somewhere around the screen will be like the full episode or whatever, and you can go watch that. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and comment. We'll hopefully see you in the next episode.